Expressions about dogs. Part 2 of 3. 1. Every dog has its day. The expression every dog has its day is an idiom that means everyone, no matter how unlucky or unsuccessful they may seem, will eventually have a moment of success, recognition, or good fortune in their life. It suggests that even if someone is facing difficulties or setbacks, there will come a time when their luck or circumstances will improve, and they will achieve success or happiness. This phrase is often used to provide hope or encouragement to someone who is currently experiencing challenges or setbacks, reminding them that their situation can change for the better in the future. It emphasizes the idea that perseverance and patience can lead to eventual success. 3 examples of how to use every dog has its day in sentences. 1. Even though she struggled through many failed auditions, she finally landed a lead role in a big Hollywood movie. It goes to show that every dog has its day. 2. Don't be too quick to judge John's abilities. He may not have succeeded in his previous business ventures, but every dog has its day, and he might just find the right opportunity to thrive. 3. The underdog team surprised everyone by winning the championship game. It's a perfect example of how, in sports, every dog has its day. 2. You can never teach an old dog new tricks. The expression "you can never teach an old dog new tricks" is an idiom that suggests it can be challenging to teach or persuade someone who is set in their ways, particularly if they are older. It implies that as people age, they tend to become less adaptable and more resistant to change or learning new things. This saying is often used to convey the idea that it can be difficult to change ingrained habits, beliefs, or behaviors in individuals who have been doing things a certain way for a long time. It doesn't necessarily mean that older individuals are incapable of learning new things, but rather that they may be less inclined to do so, or may require more effort and patience to embrace new ideas or skills. 3 examples of how to use "you can never teach an old dog new tricks" in sentences. 1. I've been trying to convince my grandfather to start using a smartphone, but he's so used to his old flip phone that he just won't budge. It seems you can never teach an old dog new tricks. 2. The company tried to implement a new software system, but some of the senior employees were resistant to change, saying, "You can never teach an old dog new tricks." 3. I offered to show my dad how to use social media, but he dismissed the idea, claiming that he's too old to understand it. It's a classic case of "you can never teach an old dog new tricks." 3. Meaner than a junkyard. The phrase "meaner than a junkyard dog" is an idiom that describes someone who is extremely aggressive, hostile, or vicious in their behavior. It suggests that the person's temperament is even more ferocious or unpleasant than that of a dog that guards a junkyard, which is often associated with being aggressive and protective. In essence, when someone is described as meaner than a junkyard dog, it implies that they are exceptionally cruel, nasty, or ill-tempered. This phrase is often used figuratively to emphasize just how unpleasant or aggressive someone's behavior can be. 3 examples of how to use "meaner than a junkyard" in sentences. 1. Watch out for him, he's known to be meaner than a junkyard dog when he's in a bad mood. 2. She may seem friendly on the surface, but when it comes to competition, she becomes meaner than a junkyard dog, doing whatever it takes to win. 3. The boss's temper can be unpredictable, and when he's stressed, he can be meaner than a junkyard dog, making the office a tense place to work. 4. His bark is worse than his bite. The expression his bark is worse than his bite is an idiom used to describe someone who may appear or sound aggressive, threatening, or intimidating, but in reality, they do not follow through with any harmful actions. It suggests that while a person may use strong or menacing language, they are not as harmful or dangerous as they may initially seem. In essence, it means that the person's words or actions meant to frighten or intimidate are more alarming than their actual behavior or intentions. It implies that they are less likely to take significant or harmful actions and are often just trying to appear tough or assertive. 3 examples of how to use his bark is worse than his bite in sentences. 1. Don't be too intimidated by his tough talk. His bark is worse than his bite, and he rarely takes any real action. 2. Although the manager can be stern and demanding in meetings, his bark is worse than his bite, and he's actually quite reasonable when you approach him one-on-one. 3. The neighbor's dog may bark loudly when someone approaches the fence, but his bark is worse than his bite. He's actually quite friendly and harmless once you get to know him. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and comment below.